Version 7.0 was released last October into new clients. Version 7.1 represents the one real version that you can begin to think about migrating from the Windows desktop application to the web application server. And so version 7.1 is going out the door. Everybody in blue sweaters, nod your head next Monday. So it will be released next Monday. It's a wonderful version, and we were very fortunate to be able to put some few of my never before dreamed of enhancements last week, which I wouldn't even dream we could have done it, and our development team did it. Lisa, Alan, thank you in particular. I think it's really neat stuff. So what I wanted to start with, just very quickly, we're only going to spend a few minutes here because we've got 2 or 3 sessions later talking about it, is how do we deal with this new structure, or this evolving and more complicated structure of worrying about formats, worrying about all the derivatives of products. I think a great example of a derivative, if you want to really stretch out as a derivative of a product, is Sterling Publishing. Of course, they do. They couldn't be here today, but they do lots of cookbooks and wine books and cocktail books and those sorts of things. They have 9. At one point, they had 9 books on napkin folding. I kid you not. Talk about a niche publisher. That's absolutely true. And they're all different. Napkin folding for Christmas, napkin folding for Easter, napkin folding for summer. Absolutely true. One of the things that they did, talk about these derivatives. What can you do with this content? I think it was almost a year ago. I got an email blast from them that they must have been signed up on their website or something, and check out our new iPhone app. And it was really just when the Apple iPhones came out. They created an app called Happy Hour, and it's basically a list of all of their cocktails in a format. If I could have taken my iPhone and I should have shaken it. If you shake it and you hear a little ice jingling, and this little recipe comes up for a particular kind of cocktail. And you can sort of lock in, I like rum, I don't like pineapple, shake it again, keep the rum, get rid of the pineapple, and you get Coke. Okay, everybody's happy. That was a free app when they first came out, and now charging $5. So somebody's buying this thing. But if you want to think about derivative products, or all this, in different formats, that's just sort of an out there example. But it's a cool app anyway. So, but what I wanted to demonstrate was, thinking sort of from the very beginning of the life cycle, what is the challenge that we're facing today? You see, there's quite a bit of press on do we publish the ebook with the print book? Do we stand by? We're going through wireless. Do we publish the ebooks together? Do we delay the EPUB, the ebook? Do we delay the print books? All these different decisions, as we come into those, as we begin to make those decisions, part of what we've been working on is giving you the tools to help you, model those things and make those decisions. So this is our acquisition project. I actually previewed this at our last conference in not a lot of detail, but the first thing that we come up with, again, is for years we've been sort of migrating from an ISBN-centric set of tools to a project or a work set of tools. And this is yet another manifestation of this. I'm just going to scroll this up. So this is an acquisition project. It's not a book. It's not an ISBN. It may not even ever be a book. It's just an acquisition project. It's a way for you to collect all those works that are in play in your pipeline and help build them and put them together and run the scenarios. And that's what this tool is really designed to do. You can see right here we have the publication plan. They have ISBNs assigned because in my demo data I've already acquired this book, and the ISBNs are already assigned, all the relationships are already created. But when I'm looking at my publication plan, how are we going to do this thing? Is this valid for an audio book? Is this valid for if you're a scholarly or a reference publisher? Is this valid for an online database? We're talking with publishers about that very thing now, and this allows us to start thinking about how are we going to do this? So we're not worried about an ISBN hardcover. We're thinking about a holistic approach to managing these titles and bringing that up a whole level. So that's one of the first things that that I wanted to point out as we're starting to manage all these different ideas. Absolutely, positively, we're going to see iPhone app in the format there eventually. Just for fun, I should have put it in there, but I out there sort of, out in left field, those are ideas that people have of taking all that wonderful content and repackaging it. Angela Butcher's here from Lippincott, and so she has to live this every day with people dreaming up new ways of passing, crafting their content into some new, some new product, which is kind of neat. This is our P&L summary. So as part of this acquisition project, the P&L summary can allow us to watch the evolution of this project as it goes from an acquisition project into an acquired book, and passing through whatever stages you want to call it, whether it's transmittal to production or final print quantity. It's going to pass through each of those stages. But what it allows us to do is to run those scenarios, run those what ifs. What if we took loss symbol and we ran the print with the ebook edition? What do we think would happen to that? What if we delayed the ebook? What if we ran all the formats together? What if we put the content for free up on the website and still sold millions of copies of the print book? Those are all possibilities with this tool. So just as part of my example here, I said, okay, what if we did the hard need simul? What if we did the hard, but we held back the ebook? By looking at these things and and sort of playing with these scenarios, we can begin to come up with some ideas and some decisions about how we're going to do that. So if I drill down into this, this particular one where we have, we're doing the hard and the EPUB, the ebooks simultaneously, we started to play with the numbers, play with the sales forecast, get our feedback from our sales reps. Look at the different formats, as the ebook is going into, different sales channels, looking into that as well. So, where are we going to be distributing these ebooks? What do we have for commitments or at least some intelligence on where it's going? Again, it's a tool, and really the information's got to be plugged in by the people that have that knowledge. But the tool is there. The important thing about this tool is that by getting it out of an Excel spreadsheet, which is this little island of information, and bringing it into this system, you can then aggregate across a season, an editor, a series. You can start to slice and dice those things, so you can see how your whole program is doing. Again, it goes back to that, trying to help provide tools, give you a holistic approach to how you're approaching publishing. The next, so that's the acquisition P&L. The next point I wanted to bring up and show you was, let's click into the hardcover book, is those relationships that we talked about. Under those relationships, do we have, are we able to communicate those things with, everybody can cheer for Alan's jacket image up there if you want. And one of those things that we've been working on, especially through Eloquence, and I think we all have a lot to learn how this is going to work out in the industry, but is taking control of communicating those relationships. So, again, we have this is similar to, what you're looking at is similar to the title relationships on the desktop. It's just sort of a new manifestation of it. However, we've sort of brought all of the related, the relations of different titles together under one, under one section on the web. And that includes all the tabs that are on title positioning. It also includes this, the new tab here for supply chain, which really drives us directly into Onyx. And how do we communicate that, I have an EPUB, I have an ebook based on this print edition. And the reciprocal of that, when I'm looking at an ebook, what is the print edition? Guess who's guessing that now? Amazon is just kind of determining those things. And Barnes & Noble, all these relationships are just basically determined at the bookseller level now. The technical stuff, the Onyx formats are giving us this capability to begin to communicate that. What is the parent ISBN and what are the relationships between these things? What are the alternate formats? What are titles that we may want to cross-sell to, either on our own website or internally? Those relationships are becoming more and more important. And so we've been working on those tools to help you with that.